Okay, what would you say are the strengths of the front cover?
I can see many strengths on this front cover, such as you have used a really good color scheme. You have used a blue, a white, a shaded purple around the outside to have a border, and you used red, a red color, to signify the important information, such as here you got a title for the subheadings, and down here you got a red writing for the puff. You've also situated all your social media along with the barcode in the bottom right corner, which is easily noticeable, which is as it's just below the image. You've used the pen tool to situate all your text around the image to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the region or the point of the image. You've also made sure that your website link is clearly visible at the top of the page, where it's not interfered by anything.
What are the weaknesses of the front cover, and can you suggest any improvements?
Um, by looking at this front cover, I can notice some weaknesses. There's not that much, but it can be easily corrected. Such as on the sides you have a border. Well, it's not just one border, it's two borders. Maybe as an improvement you could limit it down to just one border so that you can use the space to maybe add some more writing. You've actually also used a very high amount of fonts. There's no real continuity in the amount of fonts. Maybe just having about 2 or 3 would be a much better idea. You've also got a little bit or a lot of space around the front cover, which, as I've already said, could be used to either put more pictures or more text around the image. Also, around here, as you try to take up space, but it actually looks a bit unneat.
What would you say are the strengths of the contents page?
On this content page, you've stuck to 3 or 4 colors, which is really good as it keeps that continuity along with this content page and your front page. You've used purple font to highlight the key information in your contents page, as well as the main image of the contents page into the bottom right corner, which takes up majority of the page, but also attracts the attention of the audience. You've used numbers to illustrate the contents that are inside the magazine, as well as borders which separates each cover story. You've also used a big block at the top right corner of the contents page to show the audience that this is, of course, contents page, as well as it being in bold.
What are the weaknesses of the contents page, and can you suggest any improvements?
Like I said for the first page, the front page, you have used too many borders. As I said before, limit down to 1 and it should create more space for you. There isn't that many weaknesses with this page, except for the fact that there isn't consistent font sizes. Like here in your editorial is like a very small size, and then you jump to a very, probably about 4 times, 5 times bigger than the editorial. There isn't that many contents on this page to actually inform the audience of what's inside the magazine. I've also noticed that the number actually jumps to 29, like what if the audience wants to know what's 15, 14, 13 and so on.
Do you think the editor's letter or the editorial creates a personal relationship with the audience?
Alright, first off, for the opening sentence, it says, "What's up guys?" This, I think, is creating a personal relationship between the audience and the editor. As well as the fact that at the end it says, "For further details, please do not hesitate to contact me." This is as an attempt for the editor to engage with the audience. You can also see here that it has his full name, followed by the name of the magazine and the social network links. These are ways for the editor to get in contact with the audience, or the audience get in contact with the editor, as well as a signature which is presented right below the editorial.
What would you say are the strengths of the second contents page?
There are many strengths for this second contents page, such as you've actually took on board the improvements that I told you of adding new layers for each content. So you got border here and so on. You got exclusive category at the bottom of the page, which highlights the important information. You've also got a image here which actually represents the story of this backup story, if you can say. You've also got
Go.
social media at the bottom left, bottom right corner, followed by the page number of the contents page. You've also got bold fonts used to signal each content of this page.
What are the weaknesses of the second contents page, and can you suggest any improvements?
There could be some improvements, such as the border on the side of the page that could be taken out or limited to the one border. I think you've put the web address too many times on this page, like maybe just limit down to one in the bottom right corner like you've done here. You've also used hyphens to separate the sentences for each story, such as here you've got producers and it stops and goes on to the next sentence. That can maybe be spaced out so it's all on one sentence.
What would you say are the strengths of the double page spread?
The strengths on the double page spread, such as the colour differentiation, which as it goes from the answers are in black colour while the questions are in the blue. This is throughout the whole interview, as well as there's a drop capital here, which is the start of the interview, which is Francis. The F is a drop capital to illustrate the first letter of his name, obviously. This font here is all appealing and eye-catching to the audience, as it's in a bold font at the top left corner of the interview. Here at the bottom right, bottom left, you got the editor details followed by the website address, which has been seen in all corners of the page. Followed by this image here. This is the main story of the magazine, which is next to the name of the character and his album, which is located on the first page, called Bravery, Honor and Loyalty. You also have some more social media at the bottom of the second page, followed by a border around the whole page, as well as a grading tool which shows that the background has gone from a light blue colour to a plain white colour.
What are the weaknesses of the double page spread, and can you suggest any improvements?
There are some weaknesses for this double page spread, such as the structure of the interview is like not continuing. Here you got it in columns, and then here it's just straight up across the first page. That, in my opinion, is not that professional, but this can be easily corrected by just making it in columns. You can also see here, if you zoom in, that it's being bunched up too closely together. Like this story here is just literally on top of this story, but that's not that big of a deal. You can just easily just move it up a little bit. The questions for each question, it's gone over to each line. So here you got underline. It'd be better, in my opinion, to just space the underline onto the next sentence to maybe get rid of the hyphens.
Overall, would you be interested in buying my magazine?
I feel like I would buy this magazine if I saw it on the shelf at the store. This is because it's just eye-catching, really. Like the whole page is set out, and the price of the magazine is clearly noticeable at the top left corner in bold writing. It says £1.79, which is also in my category. I feel like I would be able to afford this magazine, and it's just used colours that I would like to see in a music magazine.